So today we're going to be checking out the brand new limited edition release from Hugo Boss, part of their bottled line. This one is Bottled Pacific. So very much going to be a summertime version, as you could probably imagine. And like I said, on the box, on the front and back, this one is described as a limited edition, which is not uncommon for this line and a lot of fragrances in this typical style where there'll be summer editions that they leave out for a year or two and discontinue it and then move on to the next one. I gotta say, the note breakdown on this one looks pretty good, so I am decently excited to check this one out. I haven't always had the best luck with the more summertime focused Boss Bottleds. For example, Boss Bottled Tonic is one that you can pick up for super cheap now because it really doesn't bring a whole lot to the table at all. It's very much a lackluster release. They have some other great ones in the line as well. The new Boss Bottled Parfum is pretty decent, so we'll see how this one holds up. Is this one that's going to be worth paying full retail for? We'll have to see. I did pay full retail for this one at Macy's, paid the $80 or $100 or whatever it works out to be, plus tax and expedited shipping. So here's what it looks like. Nice blue bottle. Not much else to say about that. It's the Boss Bottled bottle, but blue. Nice clear, all of that good stuff. So looks pretty nice, very summery, uplifting looking. And there we go. Do one spray because that was actually a pretty good spray. Nice atomizer on these. Yeah, coconut off the top immediately. Coconut, fruity, kind of citrusy, bright, musky, fresh. Almost reminds you kind of a smell of a suntan lotion or a sunscreen, rather, depending on which you use, you know. Something that's kind of tropical, summery, fun, playful, that sort of thing. You're definitely getting a lot of that coconut, though. The more I smell it here, the more it's really coming through. For me, coconut is very much a hit or miss. There are some fragrances where I really like it a lot and it smells great. Creed Virgin Island Water is one of the few coconut fragrances that I really enjoy. Other times, when it's used and mixed with other types of notes, it just comes across kind of off-putting for me personally, so I'm not the hugest fan of that one overall. And here, I don't mind it too much. There's some other things going on here to kind of balance it out, which I do admire. So I actually don't have to go far for the note breakdown. I can look at the back of the box. They actually give them to us here on the box, which is pretty cool, and I think more brands should do that. At least I would like to see it. So up top we have lemon and sea salt. Salted accord is what they call it. In the mid we have coconut and cypress. In the base we have sandalwood and cashmere. One thing that's interesting, though, when you pull up these notes on Fragrantica, there's an additional note of patchouli on Fragrantica, but it's not on here. So I don't know where that's coming from. Maybe they didn't put it on here. Maybe they're sticking with 2 each. Maybe it's on the official website. I don't know. I didn't look that far into it, but it's kind of interesting. So what do you pick up on besides the coconut that I've been describing? Aromatics for sure. The cypress is there. The lemon is there off the top. Not hard to miss that one at all. It does have a little bit of the sea salty type of smell. There are some general woods. Again, for me, a musk, a pretty strong musk accord, which they don't list off musk itself, but you do get cashmere, and that can kind of give off a clean, kind of musky type of feel. You know, oftentimes it's used in a lot of men's scents, even if it's not at the forefront, for one, and for two, even if they don't list it off. It's one of those things, kind of like ISOE Super and Ambroxan, where it's used more often than you probably even imagine. And so you do pick up on that here, and essentially what it's giving you is very much a familiar smell in the base. The sandalwood cashmere, that's something that's been done a cajillion times by now. It's a very, very standard base setup and kind of dry down here. So essentially what they're trying to create is a nice masculine woody base for the coconut and the lemon and the aromatics to kind of settle upon. You know, nothing new by any means. And you can tell that immediately when you smell it, that this has very much a familiar DNA and structure to it. So if you're looking for something that's going to be super unique and really, you know, kind of changes things up a bit, this is not going to do that for you. But I would imagine most of you probably weren't expecting that anyway. At least I know I wasn't. When it comes to Hugo Boss, and especially in general when it comes to these kind of limited edition summer themed releases, you're not usually expecting a whole lot out of them most times. And so it's kind of one of those things where you have those expectations set in stone. Now, where does this one sit for me? Is it exceeding my expectations? Is it below them? I think it's about right on par. This is kind of about what I expected. One thing I do like so far here is actually the longer it sits, not only has the coconut become a little bit more strong, but the lemon actually is starting to kind of work right alongside it a little bit stronger. I mean, you picked up on it when you first spray it, but even if as I smell it here, there's this kind of sour, citrusy lemon accord alongside of it still holding on, which is pretty neat. You're still getting some of that sea saltiness, which kind of gives you the impression of an aquatic note, even though officially there isn't one. And realistically, it doesn't smell watery or aquatic, but it just kind of gives you that feeling because of how it's mixing with the coconut. Again, the cypress, just a nice general aromatic mixing with that very common, familiar set of base notes. You know, it's nice. It's pleasant. Nothing to rush out and buy at full retail, in my opinion. Nothing to get overly excited about either. That being said, if there's ever a point where you can get this for $40, somewhere around in there, I think it would be a halfway decent pickup for summertime. This is the type of thing where wouldn't really make it, you know, my summertime upscale evening out, like I'm looking forward to this event, so I'm going to wear a good fragrance to it and have it be this. That's not going to be this. I'm going to choose something different, but I would kind of view this more as a summertime beater when you can pick it up for a little bit less than half off retail. Just grab it, spray it on heavily, going to the lake, to the pool, or just out working where it's going to get either washed off or you're going to sweat it off or whatever. You're not too worried about wasting away a more expensive fragrance, right? This is kind of where I see this one fitting in. And, you know, that type of thing is actually pretty nice to have in your collection in the summer months. You don't really have that need as much in the winter time because generally you're not swimming and sweating a ton and all of that stuff in the winter. You know, you're dressed up, multiple layers of clothes, and you're going out and you got a scent on. But in the summertime with summer activities, that type of thing is a lot more useful. You know, the way the lemon and the salt and the coconut mixes together kind of gives it this Tommy Bahama Set Sail St. Bart's type of feeling. Now, take it from me right here. This does not smell like St. Bart's. This is not a clone of that one, right? Very different scents. But St. Bart's has a ton of that sea salt and that kind of tequila, lime type of smell going on. This kind of gives a similar texture and feeling to that. Just tropical, easygoing, fun, relaxing. This would be the perfect scent to wear while you're sitting on the beach, just enjoying the weather and that sort of thing. So yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say about this one. Not bad, but also nothing overly exciting either. So should you go out and buy this one right now at retail? No, I don't think so. Save your money, invest it, buy something else. There's been plenty of other good releases this year so far that if you wanted to throw around some money at full retail, I would go in other directions. Paco Rabanne, Invictus Victory Elixir, great. Even something like the new 1 million Ruby edition, I think it was. Emerald, something like that. I can never remember the name of that one. That's a great one as well. Boss Bottled Magnetic, or Hugo Boss the Scent Magnetic, rather. A lot of great new releases so far. Even the Iota Parfum Intense, I would all buy those at full retail over this one. And that shouldn't really come as a surprise to you because usually at discounters, these are going for, again, less than half the price of retail. I think this one, given that it's just going to be a kind of a cheaper one overall, maybe $40. Maybe we could even lucky and get into the mid-upper 30s on this. I would love to see it. Again, also, it's a limited edition. It's not going to be around forever, so we'll just have to see. But I wouldn't go out and pay a ton of money for this. So that's going to do it for me, guys. If you've tried this one, let me know what you think down below. Are you excited to try it? If you know, or are you just going to pass on it? I have a mailing list you can sign up to. So anytime something rare, discontinued, or hard to find comes into stock, I send out an email. And I also post on my community tab, but the email does take priority over that. And so if you're on the hunt for anything hard to find or discontinued, sign up. Even if it's something that's in production but just comes in stock for a really good deal, I send out a mailing email as well. So if you're just looking to get the best deals that you can possibly get, make sure you get on that mailing list. It's free to sign up. You can unsubscribe at any time. Thank you guys so much for watching. Stay safe, stay healthy. We'll see you tomorrow with another one. Take care.